was pretty stunned by myself, because I just we've been poring over a World Bank study called Findex 21, which shows how people actually manage their money. And we did some calculations and got the percentages, and according to population, and there's 620 million people in developing countries who are part of informal savings circles, rotating savings circles, where, like a group of this size that I can see on the screen, there's 20 of you. You each throw in $1 a week, $2 a week, let's say, and if there's 20 of you, there's $40, and each of you in turn gets a lump sum payout of $40 until the cycle is completed. So that's the way. So of that, there's 620 million. Now look at the scores of billions of dollars that have been put into microfinance, and the total number of borrowers is 134 million. So all of this has happened at zero cost, based on traditions that have been honed over generations, all locally started, managed, and the like. So I said, oh, okay, 20 million, 130 million versus 620 million. And then I said, all the work we've done with savings groups, it's great and it's brilliant and it's transformative, but with all this effort and put in $500 million into it, it's up to 15 to 20 million. So it's a small fraction of that. So I started thinking about, okay, what are the possibilities here? And then we started looking. I had all my graduate students from Columbia and Brandeis fan out into immigrant communities and say, let's see how these same traditions from the villages are brought to this country. Well, the system is pretty much intact, except instead of saving $1 a week or 50 cents a week or $5 a week, they're saving $100 a week or $200 a week. And we found that these that just scratches, even though for immigrants, particularly undocumented immigrants, even given an enormous amount of businesses starting, there's absolutely no relation, almost no relationship with the formal and financial system. Well, why would we loan to these little loans to these undocumented people who don't have a credit record, credit score, blah, blah, blah. But they've taken it, of course, as the informal sector does, in their own hands, and have created this incredible structure. And we have seen groups as saving $40 a week, 10 room cleaners in Des Moines, Iowa, and they each get $400 every 10 weeks. And if that's trivial, consider that over half of the population of the United States doesn't have $400 to take care of an emergency, up to places that are saving $2,000 a month, $1,000 a month. And in the case which I'll be talking more, $800 a month among Guatemalan immigrants in groups called Cuchuvales. So that was the second part of it. And the third part is a phenomenal amount of assistance that comes through remittances. Just to developing countries, $529 billion is funneled to by 250 million immigrants living in rich countries down to poor countries in the United States. Well, put that in context. Well, that's 3 times the entire, all of the development assistance of all the countries put together for that for economic development. And as we all know, who are us in the development, at least half of that money goes into institutional overheads. So the actual amount of money getting down to villages is minuscule. But on their own hands, through their own initiative, built on their own tradition, their own commitment to their villages, their own commitment to their families, they are doing this. Half that money goes to the poorest part, rural areas, and 1/4 of that money, total money, goes not just to families, but also invested in businesses and savings and farms and other economic activities, creating a powerful motivating force. And so we talk a lot about the fantastic decline in poverty rates over the last decades, but I think a lot of that is due to the importance and the multiplier effect of remittances. So we got savings groups domestically in this country, in rich countries, savings groups, savings circles in poor countries, along with savings groups and self-help groups, and remittance, and it comes out to about $1 trillion. So that's an enormous amount of money. That's just mind-boggling when I added it up. I kept having my students go over all the numbers, and my God, there it was.